Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Borderland Sports Report. I'm joined here today by Caleb Gutierrez. Caleb, how are you doing today?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. So tell the folks what high school you're representing and all of that.
I'm a junior right now, representing El Dorado High School.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so El Dorado High School junior. So Caleb, 6 foot, 250, defensive end and guard, correct?
Yes, sir.
And punter.
And punter.
and punter. So first team, so your sophomore year, you were second team all-district.
Yes, sir.
This past year, you were first team all-district on defense as a defensive end, as well as a punter, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and this was your first year punting?
Yes, it was actually.
Okay, so how did that come about?
That's actually a pretty funny story. So, like in the beginning of the year, we had a quarterback punting, so I guess we could do like fakes and all that.
Okay.
But he would only punt like 15 yards,
okay.
And they would always put us in bad position. So I was always trying to convince my coach, the head coach Delas, to let me punt, and he'd always like shake me off, like no. So then one day the special teams coach let me go in, and I punted that thing like 40 yards, I would say. And after that, I just been the punter. It's a pretty funny story.
So your first punt was your longest of the season?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, because I guess the stats say you averaged about 33 yards a punt. 40 was the longest. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
So let's kind of look at your career so far. So you played in 14 games due to COVID this past year. So you played 10 your sophomore, 4 your junior year. 43 solo tackles, 79 total. So 5.6 tackles per game as a defensive end, 6.5 sacks, 1 interception, and a forced fumble. So this past year you had 26 tackles in 4 games. So that's almost 7 tackles a game from a defensive end position. So How do you approach that? Did you get a lot of double teams?
Well, my first year as a sophomore, I would always be single teamed,
Mm-hmm.
and back then I had a lot of like energy and I was spazzy. I was too out of control.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really focus on that. I would just focus on getting the tackles, and that's when I kind of racked up my tackles my sophomore year. But I always had the linebackers backing me up if I messed up. But like we'd go on the sideline and get my butt chewed out by coach because I didn't do my job right.
Yeah.
But then once I guess I matured more and learned more about the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
Then I learned more about reads, and that opened way more doors for me to get more tackles and opportunities to be in the play.
Definitely. So this past season, you came out on our Borderlands Sports Report watch list for 2022. Let's kind of talk about it now. So you're finishing up your junior year. So how's the recruiting process going for you? How's that looking?
It's going pretty good. I've been talking to a couple coaches, but I just need one to give me a chance. No one has pulled the trigger on me. Been invited to a couple of camps, and yeah, I got to start going to those, prove myself right. I know I'm not the biggest guy out there, but I know I'll try full 100% every play and get that ball.
So do you have a 40-yard time?
Yes, I do.
So what was your 40 time?
The last time I ran it was a 5.12.
Okay.
I've been working on that.
You've been working on that? Okay. So what are some of the things that you're looking for in the college as you start making your decision on where you're going to spend spend the 4 years, maybe even 5 in some cases, of your life? I mean, what are you looking for in a school?
Just the new home for the next 4 years of my life, a home I can feel welcomed in, if they have the right academics, because either I want to study history to become a football coach or veterinarian.
Okay. So history, veterinarian, football coach. Okay. So does the size of the school, location, does any of that play a part in your decision-making process?
The only thing that would make it help a lot if it was in Texas, because my daddy served in the military, so I get free schooling in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So that would really help out. But if I get offered, it doesn't really matter. I just appreciate anything, you know.
Okay, so now that's a huge bit of information there for college programs out there. Is that you're looking at a young man who, I'm going to say either post 9/11 or is it because your dad joined in Texas, the Hazelwood.
I have the Hazelwood Act.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
if
so
he joined after or whatever.
You're looking at a young man who, if coaches, you're willing to take a chance. I mean, there it is. Hazelwood's going to pay his tuition. So you're talking about getting room and board covered at that point. You know what I mean? So that makes this young man, to some of you out there, probably very attractive at this point after hearing that information. So we'll definitely make sure that we get his contact information and put it in here so that you guys can reach out to him, and we'll definitely, and his highlight video that'll be running as well. So tell us about Caleb. What makes you click, Caleb?
What makes me click is that I would say I'm a natural leader. Everything that involves a team or a group, I always come out being the leader and not telling but guiding people what to do. I pick up things really fast, and I just make sure everyone around me is thriving as much as I am, because it makes no sense if I'm thriving and everyone else is left behind in the dust.
Yeah. So let's look at it. So you say a leader. So how competitive are you? Like if I challenge you to a game of ping pong, do I got a chance to win?
No, you don't have any chance of ping pong for sure. me and my family, we have Thanksgiving ping pong tournaments, Christmas ping pong tournaments. You chose the wrong sport on that.
I'm pretty tight. I got mean backhand.
All right, we'll have to see about that.
Mean backhand, follow through. So so it definitely sounds like you're competitive and willing to compete whatever the moment or the sport is. So what do you do in your spare time? What do you do in your spare time then?
I love going golfing. That's my second sport.
Okay.
I like going golfing. I like playing guitar. I'm in the guitar program at El Dorado, doing
Nice.
pretty good there.
Nice.
I've qualified for state 3 times
Nice.
in a row. And then I also hang out with my friends because I don't want to ruin, my high school times. Because I like working out. I would go work out at 4:30 in the morning, get my workout over with, and have the rest of the day to have to myself,
Gotcha. So sounds like you're very diverse. which is a good thing. So, multiple sport athlete?
Yes, sir.
So, what are the sport, other than football, what else do you play?
Well, for the school, I'm only playing golf right now, but throughout my life, thank God my dad put me through baseball. I was a pretty good swimmer back in my day when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
Baseball, I mean, like little sports like ping pong. I really like playing ping pong. I don't know, it is a sport, but I've never really like competed. I was in the basketball team for my freshman year. I was on the baseball team for my freshman year, and I would say that's about it. I was in track throwing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that's about it.
High school wise, you're playing football and golf now.
Yes, sir.
So how'd you do in golf?
We did pretty good throughout the season. We finished off a little bit, not as good as we wanted to, but we did our best and we worked really hard because it was all of our first year golfing. But we had a great coach, Coach Osborne, that he just helped us with our grind and kept pushing us, and we did really good. I think we had like a record at El Dorado, like we did the best year at El Dorado, something like that.
Okay. Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Popeyes, my man. My man. Chick-fil-A does have a good chicken sandwich.
They do have a good chicken sandwich, but I like Popeyes. I like the fried chicken better. I like fried chicken better.
Gotcha. So we talked a little bit about the recruiting process. You said you talked to some schools. So what level, like, where are you looking at as far as playing in college? Like, if you had to say, I could play at this level today, what do you think that would be?
Today, right now, I would probably, in my opinion, either D2 or D3. I still got a whole year to develop myself, to be smarter in football and stronger and faster. I think by the end of the year, I'll be able to compete at D1 level. But for right now, as like a 17-year-old, I think I'll be able to compete in D2, D3. I just got to keep grinding and make my way up. So
what are you doing this summer to that end?
Well, we have summer workouts. We usually have a speed training in the beginning for the offensive coordinator, Coach Q, and then we have a weight room. But usually after our summer workouts, me and a couple of guys who are like able to go to the gym after, we'll still go to the gym after, and then what really helped me with my like athleticism, I guess you could say, was because they're a bunch of skilled guys.
Yeah.
So when they would go to the field and throw routes or whatever, then I would go with them.
Okay.
And that would kind of help me like with my like swiftness and my agility. So I would say, yeah.
So what can we expect this year from Caleb and El Dorado? Like, what can we expect this year?
Hungerness. We're hungry. We're tired of being like kind of laughed on for our past years. I know everyone's working. We're all just kind of hungry to prove ourselves that we know we're the top team of El Paso.
So you guys made the playoffs last year?
Yes, we did. But the 5A, everyone makes the playoff because there's only 4 teams.
Gotcha. So how did you guys finish this past year? Did y'all were second?
Yeah, we were second.
Okay. So how'd y'all do in the first round of the playoffs?
Our game got canceled because of COVID.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And you guys were primed to play because y'all had started turning that corner. I could see it and really making some strides. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
COVID has been a beast this year.
Yeah, it has.
Football got hit hard with it, and then it kind of started panning out. Okay, so individual-wise, I mean, you've made all district. So what are your individual goals for this upcoming season?
For myself, just to be a better leader to the team. I'm not really focused on getting all district or all city or all state. I know that'll come if we just got to keep putting that in that work and start having some success. I know that's my main goal.
Okay, good stuff. So as you kind of go into your junior year and really, your senior year.
Right.
This is your senior year.
Dang, already, huh?
It's like already, right? Time went by fast.
Yeah,
huh?
it did.
So you'll be a 3-year varsity player.
Sure.
What are you gonna do as far as a leader? I mean, as coming in as a senior, the younger players are looking up to you. So what's your leadership style, and how do you plan on leading this El Dorado team?
I plan on leading this El Dorado team by kind of telling everyone, like, all right, let's go, let's get this work done, stop playing around. We don't mess around like that, especially on the defense. I don't really want to go to the offense too much, because that's the other leaders. Isaiah Ruderson, he's gonna pop off this year for sure. But I don't really go in that territory, because that's not really none of my business, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't really want to cross the border, and like cause problems or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So I just stay on the defense. I know Isaiah would be good over there leading them, but for me, I'm a vocal leader, and I show them how to do it, and then I pay attention to stuff. Like I know all the plays for each and every position. Like I focus hard in the film room.
So you're a student of the game.
Yes, sir.
You sound like a film rat, which is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, especially in today's game. Understanding players' tendencies, team tendencies, and really studying video only helps get you to the next level. It prepares you. So that's definitely a trait and a habit that will bode well for you going forward. So my final question is: so what do you want the coaches out there to know that's going to see this about Caleb Gutierrez?
Just know that I'll be the hardest worker. I'll always go on my 100%, and I'll always say yes, sir. I'm a really good coach, and I'll prove you right if you give me an opportunity.
Definitely. So coaches out there, I will say this: very humble young man, got a lot of upside, and he's got a lot of things in his favor. So if you're a coach out there in Texas, for sure, you got a steal right here in Caleb Gutierrez, and definitely need to reach out to this young man, look at his video, and get him on your recruiting boards. But everyone, this has been another episode of Borderland Sports Report. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have a good one. Well, you have a good one.